to say, now let's go back to our main topic. I made that video because I really wanted to make sure that all of you think a lot about what does it mean really to be a car design student today, and what it is really the objective of a professional car designer today. And the question that I'm asking also to myself as a professional, it's because the world is changing. And as I said into my video, the world is changing very fast. So, if the world is changing so fast, a lot of things are changing. And one of the main elements that key factor that are forcing us to think differently, I think it's really the technology. How technology is really influencing us and how technology is changing. So we know that we are not gonna be insensible, insensible to how the technology is changing and how many opportunities we can get out of the new technology or the evolution of new studies. Then there is also another thing that we have to understand, that the classical use of a car, of an automobile, is changing too. And it is changing fast. So we are starting to see since a couple years, but I would say that nowadays it's really, really strong, we are starting to see that services are becoming very important. And probably not to somebody like me of my age. I'm 58 very soon. So I am still very much attached culturally to my car, that I drive my car. I can smoke my cigar into my car. I feel comfortable and safe in my car. But that's because of my mentality, because it's 50 years, of that type of experience. But the new generation, you that are young, that are watching this video live, and the people that are younger than you, I am sure that they see the automobile and transportation in a different way. So we are in a part of our life period, of time, where we are moving from a traditional type of use that we always done with automobiles, in general, to a new way of seeing the transportation module or model to be in a very strong evolution towards something different. And that's why I am asking you, and I push you in my video, the future of car design, if you have a vision, because it's going to be very important that each one of us will catch quickly all those changes that are in society, that are in trends, in behaviors, in architecture, in product design, in politics, don't worry, Vikash. I just started. Don't worry, Vikash. You are welcome. I just started a little bit earlier today because once again I had to figure out if my volume was good, and now it looks like it's really nice. So I'm not gonna touch anymore all those things in front of my screen. Okay, so the question that I ask all of you: are you ready to offer in your school for yourself, and once you will be out of school, if you have a vision, and what type of vision? Are you ready to do that? Because that video that I made last week, and thank you for watching it, it shows you all the main key factors, that are forcing us into a new type, a new era, a new type of life. Maybe it's not gonna be mine, because by that time I will be old and probably not very much interested. But all the people that today are 16 years old, 15 years old, that's our market. That will be your market, for who you will be thinking, making projects, and helping them to live probably a better life. So somebody just arrived. Hey, Ayman, ciao. Good evening to you too. Thank you. So it's time in school, already in school, that you think about your portfolio for internship. That is already the first step for you, how to get close to the real working environment, okay, via an internship, to understand that your portfolio cannot be just made of beautiful SUVs, and then you will just say, yeah, but they are electrical, like EV car. No, it's not enough. It will not be enough. And the same thing, you cannot imagine to do sports cars for the sake of saying that you love sports car, you love Porsches. Because what is expected from the design community already since school time is that we are looking for talents that are ready to design and implement new scenarios. So a new vision. How it's gonna be the life in 10 years from today. That's important. And according to the technology that we have today, and those that are under experimentation, that they are making tests, okay, and trials, which one of those are gonna be mature enough to be implemented in society? In our objects, in our cars, in our trains, in our planes, in our ships, in our probably flying objects, in our drones, in our flying cars. We already seeing since almost 10 years the strong trying to make flying cars, like flying taxis. Or if we talk about the Hyperloop, train in America, and also in Italy, in Europe, there are some countries that are talking about that, how they could implement that in their countries. Now, imagine Italy. I don't know if all of you know my country, but Italy it's a country that has lots of monuments, historical cities, villages. So to dig underground, it's a big mess. It's not that easy. It's not just like making a beautiful tunnel for the train or high-speed train in the mountains. When you have a country like Italy or like France, also in the Middle East, I know there are lots of cities and areas that are archaeological. They are full of old ancient ruins that you cannot destroy. So, in this case, which one would be eventually the alternative to an underground high-speed train? Let's see who is writing. Sir, underground tunnels like the boring company, can they be the future? I don't know, Vivek, if is that the future, but in some cases that might be a good choice. For example, you all know that Italy has a Sicily, which is an island at the very bottom of our big shoe. Okay, so it's so close that they are thinking that probably the best thing to do it's not to make a bridge like we are trying in Italy since almost 40 years to make, but maybe a tunnel. That would be, with the technology of today, probably the best thing to do. And for example, when I went to London several times using the tunnel from Paris, I can tell you that it was really, really nice. Hi VJ, ciao, welcome back. How are you? So I've watched on the right because that's where I can see and read all the, your messages. Okay. All right. So, but the point here is that in this future contest to come, ciao Anish, he's one of my students. Hi, welcome back. We are talking about future vision. So this is very interesting for you because you are 16 years old. Therefore, I am sure that you will be very interested about this. So, as I was saying, wow, somebody is writing a lot. Hello, sir. I agree on everything you say, but about the fast-solving world. But I also think that there will be always be different target group of newer generation that will have specific needs. That's true. You're right. I agree with you, and we're gonna talk about that. The Uber has making flying taxi and many startups and aviation companies trying to make affordable flying taxi air dates will be a new thing in the future. Yes, I agree, Vikas. I've read also several articles about that. Isaac, some countries like most of USA, Russia, Africa are very rural. I think we will need trucks for a long time. Hey Norbert, ciao. Talking about vision. You know already because we talk about this on Thursday during class. Okay, Isaac, I will try to answer or to argumentate with all those three big nice comments, okay? So we will always have several targets, that's for sure. So my friend Miroslav, he's right. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to ask you is, I'm not asking you to think that you have to make the next flying object. No. But what does it mean for you to think of future car design and in which terms? According to those changes that are becoming very fast. The COVID virus forced all of us, almost worldwide, to work in a different way. It forced us to take some technologies and very quickly, very fast learn about them in order to communicate. Other technologies to make sure that we could work, we could communicate, we could exchange data, that we can get projects done on the other side of the world without taking a plane. Take me, for example, I'm working for the Chinese company, and even if I am here in France, we are working together very well because we changed our way of working, of functioning. Ciao, Razvan. Welcome back. All right. So when I say, you know, let's say that we have a car, okay, which is a beautiful car, okay, all right. Once I bought one, so this is a beautiful car, and then we have a concept, a little strange, that becomes reality. You know? No, I'm not saying that we have to do the Tweezy, not at all. But the Tweezy is the example to show you what it means when a company, you know, when a company decides to make a big change in terms of concept, in terms of opening a new market, in terms of following some studies, okay, so I put it back here, some studies, and it decides to make probably at that time a bet, because the Tweezy is from 2007, so it's about 14 years ago. You know, it's a lot. You know, when you see this one, it's 14 years ago. 14. You know? And, okay, we can think that we could have done much better, I agree. But it's already 14 years. And now, you see, so if 14 years ago we were thinking for the next 10 years, and now we see that after 14 years, it's a little city car, electric city car that is very well appreciated. This is a very good example to show you how today you have to start thinking about what you want to see in the future and why, because you have to justify it. Miroslav, oh, okay, I can understand now what are you trying to say, sir. Okay, good, Miroslav. I'm very happy because I really want to interact with you today. This is Anish. I personally feel like in coming decades, people realize that electric is not as eco-friendly. So future might be solar, and that would mean completely new design language to meet engineering then. Is flying car is possible because many companies are looking for anti-gravity vehicles. Okay, Anish, you're right. It's not that we have the electrical technology today, the EV cars, and we solved all the problems. Not at all. But today, we know that we are making incredible improvements to make sure that the EV technology is really eco-friendly. So this is already a big step, okay? This is already a big step that every car company are doing in the research and development of getting better and existing technology. But at the same time, there are other technologies that probably will be put together with the EV technology. Or maybe they will just challenge the EV technology. And the new scenario will be open, for the future. Maybe we will change completely. And we will have, exactly as somebody wrote, some flying freeways with a new system that can fly also in between big cities and rural areas, like before somebody wrote, like Isaac just said. Yes and no. Maybe. Let's take China. China had a lot of rural areas, okay? And then in 20 years, they completely changed the scenario. Now those rural areas are big cities with million people, industries, lots of technology, lots of skyscrapers, buildings, completely different. So it takes only 20 years or 10 years to make such a big change. And with the new technology coming, how those towns will be developed or redeveloped. And therefore, what about the transportation in those new towns? You see, there you have another big question. Vikas, sir, honestly, I see future very positively humanity. Okay, very human. We'll realize in near future that having a quality life is a necessary thing. I agree. That's everybody's thinking about that. It's going to take over humans in a positive way. I agree. We are always thinking on the new projects to come, and I think that also schools are asking you students and those that will become students not to forget that if we are designers, it's because we want to try to do something to make people's life a little bit better. Of course, it's not just because there is a legislation, new rules that forces us to change a product or to change a car for a new regulation. There is also the will to take advantage of the needs of changing something to make it better for the client and therefore for the industry. Because if we make it better, it means that it's lighter, maybe cheaper, maybe we can use it for longer time, and more reliability and rentability, both of them. As I mentioned last time, the people realize that the human connection are lost and start having more of human interaction. I agree with that. There will be a sort of romanticism coming back, or renaissance, when the romanticism became very important. It's like a cycle of the history, when we had the Renaissance, the art start coming out, and a lot of people start enjoying the beauty, what was beautiful, because that became very inspirational. According in contrast with the period before that. And probably now we are going toward a comeback of that. Start exploring the world while working in the car, which leads to autonomous, which is making human like a better life and destroying it. Yeah, because autonomous driving has several advantages. Imagine somebody that is blind and cannot drive today. He needs somebody that is there to help. But with an autonomous driving car or autonomous driving bus, that person, he doesn't have any problem. Can even buy his personal car. Because he doesn't have to be worried about driving. Because the car will do it for him. So this is one of the advantages. Which leads to explore vehicles like Audi and trial. Yeah, I agree. So, but once again, what about the pods? A lot of people are working on pods, like 10 people, they go from A to B without a driver, just like, for example, in the metro in Italy, or like the metro in Paris, or in London, I guess also in America. There are some parts that are managed electrically without anybody inside driving, and now it's on the road. In Paris a few weeks ago, they just were able to made the inauguration of one of those pods in Paris, so that people can move without driver, about 10 people, 15 people, and go from point A to point B in a very touristic area. So that's very nice. Miroslav, I also want to point out that electric cars are nothing new as it comes to innovation. That's true. Already in 1800, or more or less, there was the first electric car. Still long gasoline way back in 1900. Yeah, I agree. Human evolution, exploring was a main part of the made humans, different from other species. Yeah, I agree. But I think that all this type of reasoning, of thinking, then we have to take it, elaborate, and then bringing it to the paper. When we talk about seed meat, everybody knows seed meat, right? If you don't, go on Google and Google seed meat. I can write to you the name here, but I'm sure you know, guys. Like this, okay? Go on Google and check seed meat, all right? Now, seed meat was one of the first futuristic designer, visionary designer, okay, that we had in early 50s, early 60s in United States. This guy unfortunately died a couple of years ago. Ciao Luis, buongiorno dal Messico. I have my live Friday session today on YouTube. And the lesson is on Tuesday, dear Luis, okay? It's on Tuesday on YouTube. But then if you're interested in my online course, then it's different. Then you have to write an email to me, and I explain to you how to participate. Okay, you probably saw on Instagram the latest images from, latest photos from Thursday until today. Yeah, Sid Mead is a legend. So now you have to think that Sid Mead was somebody that had his own word in his head. And this guy was such an excellent, fantastic visionary that in the 50s he was able to anticipate in his drawings, illustrations, sketches, things that we have today. It's incredible. 60 years later, 70 years later, that's something. Don't you think so? I think the chance of autonomous trains are possible. I think so too, Barga. I know that they are working. If they are working on track on big trucks, for logistics that are autonomous, also drive free. That's to make sure that it will be safer for all truck drivers not to get asleep, to fall asleep while driving, causing big accidents that sometimes are deadly accidents. And so that's technology that helps also to save lives. Anish, but does get really difficult to generate electricity. I mean, we need many high power plants. Yes, Anish, I know, but so far today it looks like it's gonna work. But don't forget that when we are talking about electricity, nobody ever thought that we're gonna take all the gasoline or hybrid cars, put them in the trash, and only have electric vehicles. It's impossible. So what the big heads, the big heads that we have in the European community, world, when they make those world symposium where they talk about macro systems, macroeconomics, macro technology, where they start thinking and having brainstorming about the life to come in the next years to come or the future to come. I know that you can find this on internet. It's no secret that basically there will be between 20, 30%, 35% of electric car vehicles in the market. The remnant, it's other stuff, other technologies, other combinations, because everybody knows that it would be impossible to produce and make electric cars run if we have millions and millions of only electric cars. So this is something that it's thought when those people get together to start talking about macro visionary programs for the future of the world and of society. Sir, talking about justification of the concept car, what should be the approach? Vivek, I don't understand your question. Think solar will overthrow an electric car or eventually? Solar technology, Anish, it's a part of it. We know today that if you put lots of solar panels on the roof of your car, on the hood of your car, you don't have enough electricity to make that car run for 5 kilometers. You don't, because solar energy, it's much weaker energy than a battery, a lithium battery that has a much better resistance and autonomy. Okay? So today there are people that are trying to develop a new way of solar panels, even transparent, so that we can put them on the glass, for example, okay, and on the body of the car to add extra solar panels on the car to have a bigger surface so that you can have more electricity accumulated in your battery on board. You understand? But so far today, with what we have, it's not really possible. Not yet. I know, because I was very interested into this 5-6 years ago. So I think solar will overthrow electricity car eventually. Well, I answered to that. Okay, so meanwhile, I hope that you like this topic, because I know that it's a little bit different than usual topics we treat here on our Friday show, our Design Talk Friday show. But I really think it's important that you guys sit down and think, what portfolio do I have to have? Just a nice collection of car projects, or I will be there with my portfolio to show that, hey man, I have a vision. Look what I think. Look how I think it's gonna be the future, because that's a big, important part of your creativity. Wow, that's something I never heard about. Okay, all right. But anyway, for example, solar energy, dear Anish, will be used much, much more in architecture. Because with architecture and those big skyscrapers, those big buildings, you can put the transparent solar panels onto the glass, on the windows. You can have two objectives, two good things. The first one is the energy. The second one, you will have your glass tinted. In that way, the solar UV radius will not go through your glass, and so the solar panel will have two functions, not just one. You see, and the way they are transparent, it looks like from far that you don't have solar panel sticked on your windows, even if you do have. You see, so that's something very interesting. There are a lot of things to come in architecture that we might use, but also in space technology. There are a lot of technologies that they are using now, going to Mars, you know. Recently, everybody saw the new robot that just went to Mars, that landed in Mars, okay? And it's already starting to exploring, sending beautiful HD images, you know, all daily on Earth. And there are some technologies that they are using for this experiment that will be implemented in our daily life, in some of our products, in some of our cars. Vika's manufacturing revolution into 3D printing in future will change the way of thinking while designing. Vikash, I think... ciao Andrew! No, don't worry, come stai? Come va? Abbiamo comunque Andrew 700, Andrea 700. Don't worry. Anyway, just in case, you can watch the first part tomorrow when it will be online after recorded on YouTube, okay? Always on my channel. Gravity vehicles also, it's an interesting point. Let's go back to Vikash, because Vikash is talking about the 3D printing. Okay, there was a period of time when 3D printing came out that everybody said 3D printing is the revolution. You will see our life will change. Now it's more than 10 years, and I can tell you that our life did not change because of 3D printing. But 3D printing, especially in my job, helped us a lot in accelerating some process for specific tasks, mainly representational tasks. For example, I have to do this. I can do this in 3D printing very quick to make sure that very fast I can check and find all mistakes. So I can make a model or a parts of a model in 3D printing, right? But the problem of 3D printing is that today we still don't have a plastic material, 3D printing material that is really, really super solid, so that we can just, sand it a little bit once the 3D printing is finished, and we can put a nice paint on top of it. So today, 3D printing, it's strong in one side, but it's very weak on the other. So they crack, they break. Those elements, they are very delicate. Okay, unless you use metal, then you can do 3D printing with aluminum or wood or other materials. In that case, it's different. Yeah, in prototyping, Anish, that's what I'm talking. Thanks for telling me the right term, prototyping. I agree. Sir, what could be the future material for car structure? Vivek, you are asking me a question that you should ask to an engineer. To be honest, I don't have idea. I don't know. We are waiting for our engineers to help us, to show us, to present us new materials and see how those materials can really help. Because you have to know that sometimes when we see some of those new technology technological process and the new materials, there is a big problem. The problem is given by the fact that the material can bend only on one side and not on the other side. So this means that we cannot sketch, draw, or realize models the way we do it today, because there are too many hard points in forming those volumes because of the technology that will force us to sketch and to design only in a certain way. So if we do that, honestly, for a designer, it's more like putting handcuffs than having the opportunity to express creativity. Vikash, yes sir, there is a metal printing and human tissue even, but it might take two in the future to manufacture in bulk. I said, but you know, Vikash, there are sports cars, competition cars, like rally, stuff like that. Then there are also some planes, airplanes. There are also Formula One cars. And there are also some military aircrafts that are full of 3D printing metal and aluminum parts. They are very expensive, they're super expensive, but those parts are made with the 3D printing. Why? Because sometimes some mechanical parts that before could not be done because of the shape and the space available in the mechanical box, now it's possible because with the 3D printing you can make the form you need with no problems. You can also analyze that form and have the 3D printing software that redesigns the structure in a way that the structure is performing 100% and the part is lighter, so much lighter, so with less material. So this is very important for competition, like racing competition of flying objects like airplanes. Michelangelo, let's read. Icona Design made a titanium car, which I think is very interesting, but it is hard because it's hard to bend. You see, that's I agree with you, Jared. Michelangelo draw cars. Yes, sir. I have the vision. Every day I wake up, I'm thinking how can I create something new, more performant and more beautiful, timeless and with the. Okay, that's important. Keep it up. That's Miroslav. I honestly think that the carbon fiber will be the future material for mass production. Today it's very expensive production. The problem right now is that the manufacturing process is very expensive and time consuming for carbon fiber. Yeah, that's the thing. So we should invent tooling for mass production for which we can use the fiberglass or carbon fiber. My vision and hope for the future is to make people much more passionate and understanding through transportation, vehicles, and everybody. Okay, that's very nice. Bond designers and racing drivers already know about, but regular people are not aware. Treat vehicles worse than tools. That's what I want to fix about our transportation industry. Okay, well, why not? In present, we have removed from the beauty and passion to look like will become much more less and ever. Okay, that's a good point that Michelangelo just pointed out, that the fact that the design it's becoming without a soul, and 50 years ago, 20 years ago, we had in every car design an important soul. I think that this one has a soul. It all depends how you do things, you know. I really think that this Curie has a soul. So it depends. It depends on the trends. It depends on how people appreciate today compared to yesterday generation, you know. VJ, I said, if modularity will be a key aspect in future transportation, is there chance to create, you know, VJ is saying something that is very, very interesting. Modularity. Now, let's face it. Since I was a kid in school, we were talking about modularity. But now we see lots of projects, real projects, that have modular modules, Go on LinkedIn. Check all the new EV small trucks for logistics. And look how many things they are thinking, about logistics. Even Renault, we made the Easy Flex by Renault. If you go and check that concept, which is a running prototype, you see there are modules. So today, modularity becomes reality. And modularity can be also for a small car like this one, because you can imagine that here we can do something. A lot of people sketch those cars with like in the back with with the bag, the school bag, right? Now, that's a concept that can be applied in a modular way in transportation, on transportation devices. Michelangelo, vehicle type or age, this is my take on my vision for the future. What do you think about it? And it's good mindset, vehicle type or age? My take on... No, Michelangelo, I didn't understand. Explain yourself better. The new Panda also, yes. Yeah, of course. Anish, I agree, the Tweezy is definitely a cute car that attracts a lot of attention. Yeah, attracts the attention, but it's also very useful, because with that one, you go in the city, you really go everywhere, I have friends in Italy, where in Italy it's difficult to park your car. It's sometimes most of the roads are small, really small, in small villages, and you get a Tweezy, people can go everywhere, so easy, and it's much safer than a motorbike, or than a scooter. So there are people say, with that one, I am safer because I have also the airbag, I have a seat belt, and I can go from A to B without worrying where do I park my car, where can I park my car. So there are lots of advantages. This is one few advantages I said, but I told you, but there are many others. Okay. All right. So now we get to the point that is the most important for you, which is portfolio. So how the hell are we going to make this portfolio? How are you going to make this portfolio? So what are you going to do? Are you going to have 15 projects like a car, then a family car, and then maybe you're going to have a sports car? Or what are you going to think about? Are you going to show me or to other people a system? Because I think that's the extra step that you have to make. Because it's really needed an extra step. You have to think of your portfolio with a couple projects or 3 projects that are the revolution. I understand that you must have some cars, that you must have some sleeky sports electric cars, the Ferrari of the future, the new Tesla, okay. But what about all the technologies that we have in interior cars? How does that affect the way the interior of a car is done, is made, is designed? And how are you going to make it? It's going to be a car like today with the 2 seats that just turn, or it's going to be a part of your house that gets on 4 wheels so that you go out and you still feel like you are in your house? That's a big question. That's a new vision. That's a new point of view. And if we assume that this is a good point of view, how are you going to sketch that? How are you going to draw that? What technology are you going to put in? What type of furniture are you going to put in that car? Environment, So when we talk about that, it's a small revolution. It's something different. And you are young and you have good creativity to say, I'm going to do better than car companies did. That's the thing, Okay, I read some of your comments. Michelangelo, you skipped the message from above on mine. That's why said you saw. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My vision for the future is to show everyone important almost vehicle can be sure it's through design, respect, and passion. This is what I think. Okay. Exploitation is show everyone how important almost alive vehicles can be. Yes, now I understand, Michelangelo. I'm sorry. So this means basically that you are saying if I make cars that are become livable, that become where you can live your life inside. You know, it's a little bit the concept I said before. I take my house or part of my house or my apartment, and it comes with me when I am in my car. So if we start from, if we think of that principle, we understand that it's useless to think that we have two front seats and a bench in the back. It's too reductive. We have to think, we have to go over. So it's a moment to go over to think out of the box, as we say. So what does it mean out of the box when we have an interior with nothing inside? We know that the car will move, that this interior will move from A to B, and we have nothing inside. It's like a loft. What do we put inside? Knowing that you're going to be in a moving vehicle. That's the question. Give yourself answers. Sketch. Think. Okay, Vikash, totally agree. Listing down the scenario, it's a great way to start a project in a particular direction. Yeah, because that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, because I'm not going to sketch for you, and I will never do it. But what I can do for you, I can stimulate a discussion, a thinking in your head. I can list you some of the main key words that could be part of a brainstorming, project. And then around those keywords, you can start thinking, well, if I have this and then I have that, then if I put them together, it opens up doors to do something like that. And maybe I can also do this other thing. And then little by little, you start seeing a scenario. That will be your scenario. And then, of course, there will be feedbacks and stuff, and this will happen in school like it happens at work, so that you can, in an auto-positive critique, you can modify, you can get better, you can implement with the more additional informations, making sure that there is that it is cohesive, that there is a logic in the way you want to do it, so that the message is clear, that people watch your project, they say, I got it, and I never thought about that before, right? All right, so someone else, sir, when you create the design, where do you go with the ideas? I knew this is a classical question that comes always. I will answer to that question. I just read Miroslav. I think fashion and trends repeat themselves by the time, like cycles. Most innovations are just old, forgotten ones. Take, for example, Gordon Murray's T50 design. Okay, if we are working on autonomous concept design, how should we start designing? Should we start from interior and move exterior? Because spatial emotions, you see, VJ is starting to make its revolution, because VJ said something that is very good. He's already inverting, the things the way we used to do habitually. He's saying, well, but maybe in this case I have to go from the interior and then go from the interior to the exterior. Because if my car is an autonomous driving car, means that my first thoughts must be for what's gonna be my life inside, because I don't have to stay facing to the windshield, the people in the back all with the seatbelt like that, like we do today. Then I can have a different life in my car. Then the next question, dear VJ, is what type of life would you like to have in that car, in that environment? And which one do you think it's possible to have? According to those answers, then you can start thinking about it. Salut Fleur, ça va? Je vais très bien. Je suis un peu fatigué parce que je parle beaucoup. Mais ça va. J'espère que tu vas t'amuser avec dont on parle aujourd'hui. Excuse me, just a little bit of French for my French friends. All right. Vikash, sir, I have decided concept over time, my portfolio cycle, which is 5 projects. Okay. I've decided some concept. Can I share it with you tomorrow through email? Very short, especially if you don't mind. Yeah, you can send it to me via email, but Vikash, please, I don't want something that is 10 megas, okay? Because it will block my email. So something light. Small pictures, don't worry, I don't need high resolution pictures. It's fine. And we will get there. I will check them and I will explain. I will tell you, I will give you my feedback, all right? Good. Andrea 700, exterior and interior car design are different type of job? Not really, because today what we do, we have generally people that sometimes can do both. If I find a designer that is very good in exterior and also in interior, it's very good. I myself in the past, I used to work on interior and exteriors. It's very good. If I don't find the combination of both, then it's okay. I will have exterior and interior. But it is true that we have 2 studios, generally. One is interior studio and another one is exterior studio design. I hope I answered to your question. Elon Musk, the big man, was teasing that his 2-seater with 1000 horsepower end of the year can float perhaps a meter above the ground. Okay, good. We'll see. With Elon Musk, first we have to see, always. You welcome, VJ. Vikash, yes, sir, I understand. It's just a plan of a concept which is very short. Okay, good. Just in case, don't worry. You can send it to me. It's fine, no problem. Okay, guys. Now it's about an hour that I'm speaking. My throat is dry. If you want to offer me a coffee with a super sticker or super chat, I'll be very happy. Okay, we are 31. All right, that's great. I'm really, really happy. And please, I go and drink a little bit of water, which is just on the left. But write your questions, write your comments, okay? I'll be back. Don't worry, I'm here. 1 second. You can hear me. All right. I just drink a little bit of water. Okay, here I am. All right. I really needed to drink some water. I talk so much. After a while, I get dry. Okay, Razvan. In a future car that is autonomous, when is at home, it can be placed in that you can watch a movie. Razvan, wait, I didn't understand your English. You are saying that in the future, a car that is autonomous can be part of your house so that you can watch even a movie and relax inside. I hope I understood right. Anish, just a question. Of course, does being good at both interior and exterior improve chance in getting a job? Well, Anish, what a question. The answer is yes. But believe me, if you want to be an exterior designer, do a damn good portfolio in exterior design. If you want to be a very good interior designer, do a damn good interior design portfolio. And if you are very good in exterior or interior, and you add some extras which are exteriors or interiors, that is very well appreciated. Okay, Razvan, so I understood your question. I remember when I was in school, I was a student, I had a classmate that for his thesis project, he did something that was really, for me at that time, nonsense, but it was really good instead. he made of his car a sort of extra extension of the house in this very modern architecture, and he made sure that when the car would park in the garden, on the driveway, it looked like the house. It was an extension of the house. So that's very nice. In reality, that was a genius. That was a very good idea. Because today, in architecture, and in many concepts for the architecture of tomorrow, we see how we can take our car with us at home. So there are a lot of people, architects, but also designers, that are thinking what type of technology, like elevators, we could use when you get into a big skyscraper with lots of floors, and you go up with your car, and not that you leave your car underground and then you go up with upstairs with your elevator. So there are lots of these type of concepts, and I think that is nice. Besides, Razvan, if you go on internet and you type city of futures or future cities, you will see a lot of nice illustrations about this type of concept that can be very inspirational for everybody. Andrew, can I send you my degree thesis? I'm a professional. Oh, guys, now I cannot get everybody's stuff unless how can I do? But anyway, Andrew, what do you need to know from your the professor? Not very good. You are saying it. I don't even know him, but he was the only one available. Okay, said it was bad just because he didn't like the renderings. Okay, just for some drive course. Okay, Andrew, do you have answer to me? Do you have my emails? My private email? Luciano Bove @yahoo.com, ok? Luciano Bove, tutto attaccato, all attached. Alright? So try to send it to me and sign yourself Andrea700, so I know that it's you, because I know that this is not your real name. So, alright. Jonathan, ciao Jonathan. Hi Luciano, do you think young designers need to master 2D and 3D techniques or just focus on 2D abilities? Okay, let's make this very clear, okay? 2D skills, drawings, what I call the technical talent combined to your creative talent makes of you a designer. That's for sure. All right? Now, when I was in school, I learned how to model with any material at that time. All right? I had wood, clay, plexiglass, metal, fiberglass, platter, what else? Painting, sanding, everything. I did my models, I did my clay models, I painted my models. I did not learn alias modeling, virtual modeling, because at that time it was at the beginning. So we did not have it at school. It was experimental. It came out just after. What I think a student should know, should do. A good student of a good design school has to do 2D perfect and should have an experience in 3D manual modeling. Why? Because when you work manually, your project that you sketched, and then you bring it to the stage of model, you will discover a lot of mistakes, a lot of what we call the nods, and it's very important to learn on a three-dimensional real basis to solve those problems with form, making modifications, changes, because that's where you gain experience. You understand? So I hope I answered to your question, Jonathan. VJ, what were your thoughts while designing Tweezy? Because it's a kind of personal mobility solution rather than a car. Yes, the Tweezy was a team project. I did not design it myself. I was the manager. Of course, I did my sketches, like here. You know, you can see there the sketch, okay? But this sketch is one of those sketches you do when you are with the team and you work all together, and it's okay. The Tweezy has been designed by Francois Leboine, who at that time was a very good designer, and today is head of advanced design, concept design in Renault, in our studios. Okay, then there were other people that worked with him, and I was the design manager. Why did we do the Tweezy? Because there was an important statistic study, kind of secret, of course, that showed to us that there was an opportunity to open up the door on a new niche, new market, new possible market, right? So that's why we went into that, and we discovered also that there were different type of age markets, trends within that market. So it was for young people, students, university students that don't want to buy a motorcycle, or that the parents don't buy a motorcycle because it's dangerous, and therefore they try to find something with two places that is similar and safer, and Tweezy is like that. But also for people that were young people working, like the young employee that works at the bank, you know, that used to have or wanted to have a smart, but the smart is too expensive. And then he buys, a scooter like the Piaggio, the three-wheelers, and then he says maybe it's better to buy the Tweezy, okay? And then this is what motivated us. So once we knew the target markets, and then of course everybody started designing and sketching, thinking of the student, thinking of the single lady, thinking of the employee, the young guy, the 30 years old person. And that's the beginning of the reflection and the thinking behind the Tweezy car. Mi chiamo Andrea, sì, l'avevo capito. Sono il ragazzo pugliese, non so se... Sì, mi ricordo. Ok, perfetto. Jonathan, thank you, Luciano. So, do you disagree with the industry getting rid of clay modeling? Yeah, but not everybody are getting rid of clay modeling. Somebody are doing it, and somebody are not, are implementing it. So, my projects are done in clay. So, and I think we're gonna do it for a long time, for sure, for a long time more. JKL, do you know who made the essential sketches of the Renault Clio 4 about 10 years ago? Was it Lawrence? 10 years ago, no. No, Lawrence is our big boss. He's not sketching with a pencil for a design. No, design department, of course. But you can find this information on internet. You can find it. Sir, how important is it to keep the design language same throughout the various cars events for a company? It depends. Vivek, it depends. Because if you have a brand that has a niche market and want to stick with that market, not to lose that market, then that brand has to move very slowly in doing something that is very new, okay? It's gonna be like going up step by step, measuring every step to make sure not to make the big mistake and therefore to lose a part of their market because it's business, it's money. If the brand is not like that, a specialistic brand, but more a mass production brand, then there is a lot more flexibility in doing a design that you don't put the same on every face of every car, but that you can make variations and make it probably more interesting, because that's a brand that after 5-10 years will change design and will start something different. You understand? So one thing is the specialistic, and one thing is mass production for mass markets. Okay? A lot of people. Thank you, VJ. Sorry for this. Something totally out of the way. It's okay. You are forgiven. But can you please show the Giugiaro book on your desk behind this one? I will do it another time. Don't worry. And one of these Fridays, I will show you, we will call it design books, okay? Design books. And I will show you some of the books I have so that I can share with you. And I will also show you some of the old auto and design, like this one, where we can find my sketches, where there are beautiful stuff, and those are things that you cannot find, but I have, and I can show you. Let me find. I want to show you one. Yeah, those are my sketches at that time. Those ones, those two. You see? My renderings. And then also those ones here. Also the one on top. And the other one from my ex-colleagues. Okay, so I showed you some, but we will organize a Friday book, okay, special car design magazines, so that you can see some of the old stuff that today is difficult to find around. Okay, sounds like a video to look forward to, sir. Yes, I will announce it. Don't worry. As you can see, every time that I start. Thank you. Thanks, Jord. Thank you. Every time I start a YouTube live video, there is always a notification, that you receive with the picture, with thumbnails and stuff, so that you know. And there is also the title, so you know the argument we will be treating, right? But there is also another thing I want to tell you. This Sunday, so not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in France, there is a video coming, which it's written, "You car designer, don't watch this video. Don't watch it." Okay? You might get scared. All right? So, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this Sunday, there will be a video coming out because it's already programmed. So you can go there and just ring the bell so that you are notified. You will be called by YouTube to say, "Hey, don't forget, the video is starting." All right? Cool. Okay, so any other question? I think that I wanted to provoke you today. I really wanted to provoke you. That's why I said, do you have a vision? I have to provoke you sometimes, because that's the best way to wake you up. If you are too much living, following the current of the water, sometimes you have to accelerate. And I think this is the time for every student in school or any car design lovers to think about how to give an acceleration to the creative action, and understanding that today more than yesterday, this has to be connected to a particular vision of the near future to come. Okay? So this was my main objective today. Hanish, you decide. Huh? If you have the courage to watch, you can watch it. Okay, so, dear friends, I think I said it all. We did everything today in 1 hour, 15 minutes. I think that it was very nice to share this argument with you, with this topic. If you want to buy me a coffee or buy me a beer, get the super chat or the super sticker, and I would thank you very much, all right, for that. If not, it's fine anyway. Thank you for being with me, and I hope that next week, Tuesday, you will be here for our sketching live as we do every Tuesday. And then, of course, we have again next Friday, during which we will do something different. We'll talk about something different. Don't forget, this Sunday, there is a new video coming out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't watch it, but if you have the courage, watch it, okay? All right? And if you can, please share this video. Share the next to come. Share with your friends. If you are in a design school, share with your classmates. Let's subscribe and make this channel grow as much as we can, all right? Thank you very much. Ciao, grazie. Have a good weekend, all right? Okay, bye bye. Ciao, ciao, grazie.